stage.
Why black students fail. Black economists are baffled by why black children would do worse in school than white children. Well, I'm not an exclusive economist. That's not a specialty of mine, but I do have economics as an education. My education was much broader, and I can explain it clearly. Let's start with a story set some 20 years ago. A brand new high school teacher was set up in a classroom. She was told that the kids that sat in the back half of the class were all the smarter kids and typically made the highest grades. This was a lie, of course, but that's what they told her. Miraculously, every single one of those kids at the back half of the class all made A's by the end of the year. That was regardless of race because the class was diverse and those students were both black and white. It also was regardless of parental participation in the kids' school life, which soundly silenced any notion that it is the parents' fault. The experiment was answered many times by other tests with similar results. They had their answer to the real question of grades and school success for kids. Nothing was done with the experiment because the teachers' union, of course, destroyed any chance to change the system to reflect the possibility that kids would be churned out of school with A's. This same team noticed that, without calling them racist, teachers, mostly white, tended to not teach black children in the same class as other children. They noted they didn't answer their questions, they didn't ask them questions, they all but ignored them. In the previous experiment, with half of the class being paid attention to, the front half of the class succeeded on their own merit. The straight A students suffered a bit, and all the rest suffered worse. So they determined that black children didn't suffer from a lack of intelligence, but from system-wide practice of ignoring black children. If you tell adult teachers that black children don't succeed in school, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The teachers ignore the black children and the black children fail to succeed, which reinforces the teacher's prejudice. It is only with the advent of the all-black charter schools that we see black children have an astonishing success, 60% success with kids that were supposedly failing in school. While the teachers' union is the biggest enemy to blame in this, they are simply the frontline warriors to attack. The union should be dismantled, but they are the peons, the pawns. Publishers, politicians, and other behind-the-scenes corporations are the real boogeymen. This spider has many legs. I won't insult your intelligence by telling you that some magical off or on switch we can pull to make this all go away. But apparently all black schools are more needed today than in the 20s, 30s, or 40s if we are to be equal, successful, and even surpass others. We have to jump into this and finance these schools and forbid any teachers' unions' involvement in these private schools and provide scholarships for those that can't afford them. That is the solution. It's called the freedom of association. It's one of the natural laws. Black people are not taught about natural laws. They're taught to obey the Democrats and obey the government. They're not taught the freedom of association and of natural laws. That you have the freedom to form your own school and not feel ashamed about it. How many Jewish schools? How many Mormon schools? How many Asian schools? There's tons and tons and tons. This is a solution. If we take out all factors, all negative factors, take out white teachers, take out, all female teachers, have male teachers and female teachers, black male and female teachers, and charter schools, we can do this. We can do this ourselves. We don't need any welfare. We don't need any funding by anybody else other than us. We don't need anybody, no Jewish funding, no Mormon funding, no Italian funding, no Asian funding. We can do this ourselves. We have $1.7 trillion buying power each year. This can go into starting all black private charter schools from K through 12. And it is needed desperately. You want to talk about the high school prison conduit? How about taking the high school out of it? How about removing that completely? This is the answer we need to do for ourselves. We have the money. We have the capability. Thank you for watching the Shikama Live Show.